would you imagine being an agri-millionaire? What that means is being able to make so much money in the agricultural sector. And today we are going to be looking at various crop farming practices that you can get into that can make you so much money, some in a very easy way. Some could be a little bit more complicated, but the more complex they are, the more opportunities are there also. So we're going to dive into that and going to see which areas you can get into as far as crop farming is concerned. So the first one that you look at is organic farming. Today people have become very conscious about what they eat, and they're looking at how they can be able to consume products from the markets or even direct from the farm, but which are organically grown. And so for you to get into that, that means you're not using any chemicals to grow the products. And for that, you stand a chance to get so many people who are looking for that. I know of some specific markets which are completely organic, for only organic products. And so that's one space that you can get into, and the products are normally expensive. They are costly, but people are willing to pay for it. That's what matters most in business. The other one that you can get into is seed or nursery farming. Now what that means is you prepare a seed bank where you plant the seedlings, and then you get them, you plant the seeds and get the seedlings out of that after they grow. That takes about a week or 2 weeks maximum to get the seedlings out, and then sell them to people who want now to transplant them into their farms. Now why it is very lucrative is because many people who want to farm, especially for subsistence farming, they're not looking to go and buy seedlings and get them to a certain level and then transplant them into the farms. So when you go into the market space, you're going to find people who are always selling seedlings, and many times they are happening, this is going on throughout the year, because people are planting in different seasons for different plants. So that's another space that you can get in and be able to provide seedlings to the farmers. Another form of farming that you can get into as far as crop production is concerned is model farming. Just imagine of this farm where you've planted and you've done it in such a way that others can come and learn from it. You divide your farm in such a way that, when people come in, there is a lot to learn. You use the right methods of agriculture. You're getting the people, the professionals in agriculture to help you to do what is the right thing to be done. And so what happens is, in these model farms, other farmers come and learn from it, and you're supported in the sense that when they come to learn from you, they not only just for them to come into the model farm, they'll pay for it. Equally, they may buy, people even who come to your farm may also end up buying some of the produce that you have. Remember, even as you're doing this farming, even as your farm is a model farm, it doesn't mean that you're not producing for the markets. You're also producing for the markets, but over and above that is other people can be able to come and learn from what you're doing, because you're using the best agricultural practices that kind of farming requires. The other one that is becoming very key is vertical farming. And in vertical farming, especially where there is limited land space or in the urban areas, the people are using containers or other form of vertical farming that you plant going upwards. So that way you can use very little land space, but you can still be able to produce so much out of that. The good thing is that the care of that is so much easier because it's more controlled. The space, if that space is more controlled, the practices within that kind of farming are also more controlled. But the good thing is that you can be able to grow so much vertically as you go up. It's like the way we've had in housing apartments. Instead of building within the same soil like bungalows, you're able to build many units but going up, and so you're able to accommodate more in a very small space. Another form of farming that you can get into for business purposes is hydroponic. In this kind of farming, soil is not used. Instead, nutrients are fed into the water, and the crops grow out of it. I visited one farm, and it's very exciting to see what farmers can do around this. So the whole idea is to be able to plant without necessarily using the soil. This has proved very good because it is prone to less pests and diseases, and so the crops can be able to survive And much more than that is that they can grow throughout the year. It doesn't have to be determined by seasons. So this is another place you can ensure that you can be able, when you get it into it for business purposes, you can be able to get crops throughout the seasons and be able to get them into the market as and when they're needed. The other one that is becoming also very common is herbal farming. In this case, what we mean is getting into farming where you plant specifically herbs and other medicinal plants. Now, the pharmaceutical industry is looking for this a lot because most of the medications are being made from this kind of herbs. Equally, herbal medication is also becoming very common nowadays, and people are looking at what can they feed their bodies with, either as supplements or preventative medicines for purposes of ensuring they stay healthy without having to fall sick and then treat the diseases. But even if it goes to diseases, then even these herbs are the ones which are still being used to make the medicines that people are going to take when they are sick. And so that market is also not only very good, but it is also very lucrative. So for those who can be able to get into that, again, it's a very good opportunity. The other one is the essential oils. Now, oils are also needed for many reasons, either for topical application or even for consumption. And this, you're looking at olive oil, you're looking at rosemary oil, you're looking at many plant oils. And these are very key because when you look at it, there are many manufacturing plants that are making oils, because we need oil to be able to cook food or even for topical application. So that is another very lucrative and very thriving kind of business that you can get into. The ninth one is the greenhouse farming. In greenhouses, it also allows for farmers to be able to have a controlled kind of environment, and using the right practices, it is possible to make a huge production out of a very small space because of how the crop management is done within that kind of controlled space. So get into greenhouse farming and find opportunities of the things that you can grow, all the way from vegetables like tomatoes, cucumber, and many others. Their demand in the market is very high. So look for how you get into that space of greenhouse also. And lastly, you can also think about smart farming. Now, smart farming is where technology is being used for making farming decisions. In this kind of farms, technology is used to collect data and be able to allow the owner of the farm to be able to make decisions that optimize the crop farming in a better and faster way. Most of the times they ensure high yields and huge harvests, because a lot of things are going to be captured well in time, like which area of the farm is highly affected by pests, which part of the soil needs more fertilizers, and that kind of thing. So with that, they're able to make decisions quickly and take action, so that then you can get better yields in the farm. Agriculture has a lot of opportunities, and it's upon you to look at what area do you think can bring you more yield for your own effort that you put into the farm. Thank you, and see you in the next video.